right, it says, you should find a real man, I'm just a flake, he said. And this one says, then he said I was the most flirtatious person he'd ever met, she said. This is probably one of my favourite pictures, poultry. Unfortunately, this is a true story. It says, I spent all my frequent flyer mileage going to Pensacola, Florida, and he didn't even kiss me.
And why is that your favourite image of palm trees?
Oh, because it just brings back so many memories, and it's just, for me, it's just so sad that it just, I don't know. Yeah, this is a good one too. This one here. It says, do you love him? He said. Yeah, I think so, she said. Does he love you? He said. I don't know, she said. Do you love me? He said. I went to art school in New York, so I spent 3 years in New York. So the picture on the right is very so typical of like how guys talk in New York. Don't start tripping on me now, girl, he said. This is another true story. I always disguise the characters so no one can really recognize himself. This is the picture. And this is what the person said. You didn't know I was so hairy, did you? He said.
I really love that one actually, because I had a friend in high school who dated this guy, and we were probably 16, 17, we were at this party and really drunk, and he like took off his shirt and was like doing some dance in the back, and his back was so hairy, we were like, oh my god!
Maybe it was him.
It could have been him. It was, we were just like, whoa. It's horrible, I love that. That always reminds me of that.
This is a good one too. The Hollywood Hills. This one is, I'm only going to LA. It's not like I'm never going to see you again, he said. I'll just find the follow-up of that picture. I have to say, it was really fun doing this book.
Was it kind of like a bit kind of cathartic?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. This picture on the left is the follow-up to that. And it says, he called me up and he told me that he didn't want a girlfriend right now and I shouldn't take it personally, etc., etc. 2 weeks later, he went to Las Vegas and got married. Same person. Okay, this one says, I should not have gone traveling, I should not have broken up with my girlfriend, he said. Where do I fit in, she said.
And how long did it take you to put he said, she said together in terms of kind of the drawings and all the different kind of he said, she said, and the kind of pace of the book? And
I have written down all these notes, sort of diary-esque, but I've kept a day journal since I was 13, but I was better than I am now about writing down stuff people said to me. So coming up with the words didn't take too long, the drawings took longer, sometimes I would redo pictures because I can't, I don't always get it right straight away. Probably took about 6 weeks to 2 months, I can't really remember. But,
and you have a really kind of striking style with your portraits. Obviously you're using kind of felt tip pens and markers, and kind of how did that kind of style develop? It's kind of like
I've been using felt tip pens since I was 3. When I was 8 I won a competition, at least class competition, and that was all colored in felt tips. And I've always had felt tips on hand when I've written letters to my friends. I've always written the envelope all in different colours, and so I've just always had them lying around. And for my art school project, I kind of thought, oh, wouldn't this be funny to do, do it in felt tip pens. And the paper was my grandfather's paper from when he went to Harvard, and he had recently died, so my grandmother had all this paper, and she gave it to me, and it's really cool because it has some water stain marks on it, and the typewriter my dad had given to me when I was 10, so there's like this whole sort of family connection. And it was actually a friend of mine that had come over to my house to interview me, because we had to do art school projects, like interview each other. And she saw the drawings, and she saw the typewriter, and she saw the notes, and she said, why don't you just put it all together? And I hadn't really thought about that, and so that's sort of how it started.